let's move on to our first guest. Let me get this cue music. You got to come in on Kappa Man or something like that. I don't know. I'm just joking. Anyway, our first guest is, of course, a great friend of mine. We go way back to the hallowed hills of Tallahassee, having joined the Marching 100 together and later becoming fraternal brothers. He's here today to talk about a future we better get hip to, or we will surely perish as a sovereign nation. To discuss solar energy, supply and demand. Mr. the one and only James Young in the house. What's up, Jimmy James?
How's it going, Brother Clark? How we doing?
Man, I'm pretty good, man. We're going to need you to talk up just a little bit, Brother James. I can hear you muffled a little bit. Say something real quick so we can test you out.
Okay, how you doing? Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's perfect. We got you loud and clear, brother. Hey, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm very excited about being here and the possibilities of what 2012 will bring.
Man, 2012 is off the chain already in these first 8 days. Hey, let's jump right into a topic that you're very passionate about, man. I'm really happy that you brought it to my attention. You now hear President Obama. Hold on, I'm getting a little bit of reverb. Give me just a minute, folks. I'm going to problem. Hopefully that's a little better. You now hear President Obama talk a lot about the need to explore, process, and build on alternative energy sources like solar, wind, and biofuels. My question, brother, is why have we not taken this seriously as a nation, and why are we as Americans so behind the rest of the world on these topics?
Well, in my view, I think with all products, especially new products to a market, you have to create the demand. People have to be demanding solar panels the same way they demand the next iPhone 5. And right now, it's just not, the demand is just not there. So that's one issue. And then there's another issue, in my opinion. What got me into solar energy is I have a 15 to 20-year background as an HVAC technician. So I understand single-phase and three-phase electricity. Now, anybody that's out there that's an HVAC tech or an electrician right now has the knowledge and the skill set to install solar panels. They can take a solar panel right out the box, read the wiring diagram, and hook it up right now. I had the very fortunate opportunity of teaching at a tech school, ETI Tech down in Clayton County at the time, Jonesboro, and while I was an instructor there, I would do a lot of reading, and this was like in 07 and 08. I would try to do a lot of reading to stay ahead of the trends to keep the students interested in what the future might hold, and that's what really got me into solar panels. So the demand is not there right now.
We certainly need to get caught up, but, are we so tied to these oil contracts that we won't be able to break their stranglehold they have on us in the U.S.? Do you think that's part of the problem?
Well, the example that I like to use, I think it is the communications, how they broke up the Bell companies, and now, it used to just be Bell or AT&T. I forget how that story goes, but now, you have Verizon, you have all kind of independent satellite companies, and Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile and all kind of independent companies. Well, I think the same thing can happen and should happen. We can use the same model for divesting in energy. What people say is, well, the big oil companies are not going to let this happen. Well, or the big power companies are not going to let this happen. Well, the big power companies, even if we went solar, like right now they have laws for what they call net grid tie-in. So if you set up some solar panels on your roof or in your backyard, and you can actually tie them to your meter and tie it directly into the grid. Well, the power companies still own the lines. So even if they're not making as much money by using their oil or coal-fired generators to generate power, what will happen is they will still come up with a service fee. So even if you have solar panels, people say, well, they'll lose money because they're not using oil. That's not necessarily true. They'll just end up coming up with a fee for you to rent the power lines. Even though you're producing your own power, they'll just come up with a service fee. So they'll still make money, millions and millions of dollars just on service fees.